Good morning, it's Charlene. It's one half of the Flights of Fancy Stitchers, and this is Poe. She even went in and took a shower with me this morning because apparently she thinks that it's cold. Huh, yeah. She hasn't made an appearance for a while. Usually she's in taking a nap when I'm filming, so. Anyway, she says hi. Hopefully she doesn't knock the tablet down. We'll see. Anyway, I am coming to you with video number 140. Today is the 15th of October. Are you going to stay or go, or you don't know what you're doing? Okay. And it is about, looks like it's about 10 till 8 on Tuesday. So I have lots to show you, lots of notes to go over. So I guess since I have a companion, I'll do the stuff that I can do while I'm holding her. You can hear her singing. Yeah, you're singing to the peoples. I will show you my ornament first. And I've had a few of you comment, which has been so fun to hear how you guys do yours and how you keep your orts and save them. And I just think it's great. I saw on a Flosstube video, and I apologize, I don't remember who it was. I didn't write it down. But she had went to the Goodwill, and she had picked up this beautiful vase, very old-timey. It wasn't crystal, but it looked very old-timey vase. And that's what she used to put her orts in it. And she said that it worked out really well because she could just put like a peanut can lid over the top of it when she was done, so her animals didn't bother it. Sounds like maybe she had cats. And I thought it was just such a cool idea. And it was fairly full, and it had all this beautiful variegation of color, and it was really neat. I was impressed. So I would try that, but I know that even a peanut can lid wouldn't stop my troublemakers, because, you know, troublemakers as they are. Let's see what else. I only have a little bit of haul, so I'll show that to you first. And that was my Floss Frenzy from the Fat Quarter Shop. And so this times colors, so pretty. I only have a few of those. So, and what I'm doing is the ones that are repeats that I have, or if I already have one that I've started off of, I'm keeping that one, and then I'm sending the new one to Morgan for her collection, and keeping a real strict list so I don't duplicate us and get us messed up. So, all right, Sugar Bean, I gotta put you down. Tell the peoples goodbye. My potato. All right. She's actually named after Edgar Allan Poe, but potato stuck, and it's just her nickname. So last week I made, and she's going to come back again. I made a couple project bags, and I had made one for my Moonlit Hair, which was a Haid that was published in a World of Cross Stitching magazine. And the bag isn't big enough because I have the fabric, I have both of the magazines. I don't have it obviously on digital. It's I've made working copies of it, so I've got to go put you down, baby girl. I've made working copies of it, so I've blown it up, so I have the copies in there. And then of course I have my box of thread, and I didn't make the bag big enough. So, and the funny thing is that, and I'll show it to you in a minute, I made another bag exactly like this, same size, but I think that the difference was I followed the instructions on how to do the binding. On the first one I just did the binding like I would if I was doing a quilt. And I think that little bit of difference all the way around is what made a difference of the size. My thought. I'm going to make another one. I have more of this fabric, but anyway, I'm going to give this one to Morgan so she can put spring fling in it, because it's supposed to be, you know, rabbits and Easter and all the good things. So I made the coordinating blocks to match in here, and for whatever reason, this vinyl and I were not going to get along. We had a few coming to Jesus meetings, and the process of sewing it. And then of course the back is just the bunnies. I don't know if it was just, it was a little more wrinkled than usual. And I don't know if that's what it was. So it hadn't rested enough. If you sew bags or you sew, you understand what I mean. Vinyl's very fussy. And I don't know what the deal was, but we just weren't getting along. And it was very frustrating. And by the time I was done with this bag, I was like, And then when I found out it wasn't big enough, I was even more frustrated. So I stepped away from my sewing machine for a little while. And then this one is from Morgan. And I wanted to compliment the bird, so I used some Debbie Mum fabric for the top. I can never remember her name. And then the inside is all yellow. So, and then the back is the same. I have quite a bit of this KU fabric. That's where she went to college at, which most of you know that, but not to be redundant. But I'm trying to use it up in fun ways. So, and I think Poe finally gave up. She went in and laid down on the couch and she's pouting. I'm a bad mom. Okay, statistics. For the month, I am at 7,503 stitches, and for the year, you'll love this, 99,917. I actually have went over that because I did my 30-minute stitching this morning, so I am over 100,000, but coming into this video, you know, always day before. So anyway, all right. So floss tubers that I've watched. I've actually got to watch quite a few while I've, you know, been working on paperwork and doing some stitching and whatnot. So that's been nice. I will put their links below for you guys so you can go check them out. I have watched Mandy. I have watched the Beth. I finally caught her name. Steadfast Stitcher. Janet, Sarah. I watched Carolyn, who is the Flosstube Stitcher. She's down in Australia. Pam and Steph, Darren, Kim Hollenbeck, I believe her name. I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure she's one of the founders or ideologies, or she's one of the main persons, I believe, behind Full Coverage Fanatics. She's got some stunning full coverages that she has shown. I really enjoy her, and I really liked watching, not this video, but the previous one. She talked about the plans for the group for 25. I think I said something about that a couple weeks ago or last week. But I enjoy her channel too. And then Carolyn Zook, I think it's C Zook Stitches. I don't know if she watches me, but Carolyn, if you do, I'm very sorry for your loss of Simon. I'm sending you good juju. And then just so Sherrie, say that 10 times fast. And she's actually over in the UK. So she has some beautiful, she does a lot of sampler type stuff. Really, really well done work. So that's who I've watched. And like I said, I'll put their links down below so you guys can go check them out. I have worked on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've worked on 12 projects since I've seen you last. And then when we get done showing those projects, then I want to talk to you about my plans. Not a whole lot different, just a frog hair different. So let's get started. I think this is probably going to be backwards, but we'll try it out anyway. So the first one that, or the last one I worked on, which was from, pardon me, my 100-day challenge that I'm doing for myself, was my Van Gogh owl. And I started this, I believe, and of course I didn't grab my papers. I started this in 22, I believe. And it had not gotten any love since then. I hadn't touched it at all. So I picked it up because it was yesterday's spin. and I put in 104 stitches. That's what it looks like. And I could not tell you where Morgan found this pattern at. I'm pretty sure it was on an Etsy page, but I'm not positive. And I don't even know if it's still available, because I know that some of those designers that she bought quite a few patterns from during that year were Ukrainian and Russian, and I know that a lot of those places are gone now. So anyway, Etsy can be tough. We sell on Etsy, and Etsy can be tough for sellers. So I get it. All right, so I put, like I said, 104 in that one, and that is my very sad progress. So this one will not come back out again unless I spin it in my full coverage wheel, and I'll explain that here in a little bit too. But I was happy with the progress that I did get done. I really like that pattern, but I'm obsessed with Van Gogh, so you know. Let's see, next up, this one wasn't a challenge, the 100-day. This is just one that I was working on. This is the other bag that I was telling you about. And you can see the difference in the way that I did the binding. It gives me more room all the way around. So, yeah. I think I'm gonna go back to not following directions, because that seems to work best. So on my thatch cottage, I finished my October challenge. You guys have seen this one before. And I finished off where I needed to be in October. So, and this one I'm pretty sure has already come out on the wheel, so it won't come back out again now until November. So I am completely finished with this October swath, and I've set myself up pretty nicely moving forward, because you can see November is going to be very small and December is going to be even smaller. And of course, you know, I carry over the threads if I can once I finish that particular area. I don't know if it's extreme cross country, because I don't feel like I'm, you know, way far away, but I'm sewing in where that color correlates with the pattern to finish off the thread. So, I mean, it's all got to be sewn, and if I've got the time, why not, you know, put the X's in. So, again, you won't see this one now until November, and I'm hoping, because we've got some family plans, hopefully in November, that I can get it done earlier and in the month, so then I'm footloose for later in the month. Does that make sense? You guys got that? There'll be a test later. All right. Let's see. This one came up on the 13th. I put in 113 stitches in this one. And Morgan found this one. I'm almost positive this was an Etsy find. I've got to get to the back and fold over the pattern. So we tried to put this one into Pattern Keeper because it was a digital pattern, but Pattern Keeper won't read it because it's got a watermark on it. And Morgan played with it. She tried to get it to work, and it reads like 3 or 4 stitches in its face, and that's it. So, and I have the hard copy, so I'm not worried about it. So this is Gemma, the Patriotic Giraffe. And I don't know if this seller's still there. It's the French Giraffe. And I believe she's in South Africa, I think. I'm almost positive. She was the designer of the beach giraffe that I finished earlier this year. So actually, I think it was last month, or yeah. Anyway, this is just a piece of blue Aida cloth. Pardon me. Oh, I forgot my coffee. Hang on just a second, guys. I'm going to go get it. Sorry about that. I poured my cup and then turned around, took my chicken out for supper, and forgot to grab my coffee. multitasking. Anyway, this is a piece of blue fabric. So I, way back in the day, like late 90s, maybe even more middle 90s, Hobby Lobby used to buy a whole roll of fabric. And when I say roll, like, I don't know, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 yards, maybe even more than that. And I had 2 projects. Sorry, guys. I had 2 projects. One was a unicorn, and then it had a companion piece. It was a Pegasus. It was out of one of my cross-stitch books. And I bought that roll to do both patterns. And I finished the unicorn, never did get the Pegasus started. But I've had that roll. I still have it in my closet, that it comes out every now and again for different pieces and whatnot. So this is a chunk from that. That's how old it is. I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyway, it's just a 14 count blue fabric. And this is the progress. I finished up part of her face and over her ear, and then I worked on part of her hat. So not a whole lot. She needs to be done. This bag, it's a bag that I had made, and I had originally made this bag. It's tiny because I had a Mill Hill project in here, and that's why the turn over, the charm has a coffee cup on it, because it was for one of these Mill Hills up here. But it's just the right size for Gemma, and it's patriotic, so it works out perfect. So that's one of my bags. All right, so next up, let's see, I have to turn the page because I can get 25 patterns to a page, and we went over 50 since I've seen you last. So number 50 was actually Hearts of the Kingdom, and it's a Rosewood Manor. And I really like this pattern. I can't tell you why I haven't made more progress on it. I'm pretty sure this was a Morgan dye of the fabric, because I think I started this one in 20 when she was still here at home, because that was the year that she did online college. And I've lost my pen. This one got 207 stitches in it, and I started this one for Preston. So let's see, I worked on these hearts over here. Are you saying hi, Snoopy? And I worked on this greenery. I worked on that heart right there. And then I came over here and I worked on this. I think I did this heart and this little bit and these leaves. And then I think I did that heart, or that little, yeah, heart, whatever you want to call it. So I had initially planned on putting this in to do like one motif a month, you know, like one heart or something, which doesn't seem like a lot, but at least it would make chunks of it done. And it fell to the wayside, and I need to do better because I want to get that one done for Preston. And I really like Rosewood Manor patterns, so I have no excuse for not getting done. Just have it. All right, so profanity, warning you now. So this is one of my bags from fabric from Spoonflower Fabrics online, and this one had my temperature tree in it, and then of course I finished my temperature tree, so then I put this one in it, and this one came out on the 11th. This was actually on my Whipco board for a finish, and I think for some reason I feel like I've shown this one to you guys before. Maybe I had worked on it earlier, I can't remember, but anyway, this one's Personally Yours. And this one, 662 stitches on this one. So the bottom minus, see this, the bottom of this flower right there. So that, I don't know, 3 or 4 stitches right there before it goes up. The bottom of that thistle needs backstitched. Otherwise, the entire bottom half is completely done. Backstitch, spider web, the whole 9 yards. It is completely done. So now I just have the top, which is a lot of half stitches and a lot more backstitch. I need to obviously do a lot of backstitch in the mailbox. The house minus the white, the trees, I think the trees are all done. Yeah, I think I got all the trees behind the house done. And then of course I have a chimney. All those are half stitches. And then the tree that's up here, and of course the hummingbird, those are all regular crosses. And then there's quite a bit of backstitch in the tree, and then of course the bird. But this was on my list for a finish. I don't have a start date on this. The pattern is from 99. So I had to have started it 99, 2000, somewhere in there. I know that I got this one. I can't remember if this was a Hobby Lobby or if this was a Ben Franklin. But for some reason, I think this was a Ben Franklin when they were still in the Mesa Mall in Grand Junction. Yeah, that's a long time ago. But I really wanted this one done this year. And because, I mean, if you've been here a while, you know that I'm a very avid pen paler and letter writer, and this one is just me 100%. So, anyway. But I did get a lot done. Granted, the majority of it was backstitching, but I did get a lot done, so I was happy. All right, let's see. Next up, this was a gift from a dear friend. I did not ask her permission to say who it was from, but she knows who she is. Really, really neat lady. She sent this to me as a gift, and I started it. I had to wait for the threads to come in because they're color and cotton, and then I started it. And she knows I'm a writer, and she knows that this is just all the things that I love, even the color palette. So I had started it, and then that's about as far as it had gotten. But I picked it back up because it came up for the spin on the 10th, and it got 110 stitches. So basically I'm working across the middle of the typewriter there. And this thread has got beautiful variegation. So I want to put this into my rotation. I even took and had the pattern blown up so I could read it easier. I'm going to put this into the rotation, maybe for a finish next year. But definitely give it more love because, like I said, I really like that piece and it's so cute. I showed it to Preston when I was working on it. He's like, why isn't it done? For the same reason my other gazillion projects aren't done. I have no excuse. All right, this one, this is another bag. I just took leftover scrap Halloween fabric and sewed it together. The inside is some ghosties. And then this is very similar to one of the ones that Morgan has on our Etsy page, one of her bat. I love this. I love the orange bubbles. But she has one like that on our Etsy page. So this is out of, I got all the threads on the bottom, Keepsake Calendar 2022. And I started this for someone special, and that someone special was like, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one, but I have another someone special that every time I post this on Facebook, she's like, oh my gosh. So maybe birthday, I don't know. So it is Blackwork Bouquet, just 5 colors. And this one got 249 stitches. And I have to make sure I show you the right direction because I always show it upside down. Yeah, it goes this way. So this is a piece of pink Aida, and I don't remember if this is, I think it's 16 count. This is some that Preston's mom gave me that was left over from her mother's, Preston's grandma's cross-stitch stash. And that's showing about true there. So I brought over part of this petal, and then most of my stitches were Blackwork stitches. So, and I had messed up watching Flosstube. I had messed up and got clear down, I don't know, somewhere down in here on this little bit of black, and I was off one stitch, and I was like, what did I do? And way back up here, I didn't give the straight arm, I just went diagonal. So I had to rip all that back out and start back over again. So anyway, I think I'm going to finish this one for my other friend. We'll see. Don't tell her. It'll be a secret. It'll be between us. If I do decide to go that route, you guys will see it coming back out again sooner than later. So I have to tuck my zipper pulls in because cats, especially Luna, because Luna likes to chew on them. He's a brat. So I keep them put up and keep them where he cannot find them. All right, last one. Well, I don't know if it's the last one or not. No, actually I've got 4 more. So this one is the one that I had spun the day, was it the day I filmed? Yeah, it was the day I filmed. This is Quilting Bee by the Blue Flower. And I'm using all the original colors. I do not have a bag for this one. I need to get one made. So this one got just 101 stitches. I was kind of pressed for time after I did my video and whatnot on Tuesday. I had some stuff I had to get done. So I basically worked in here, pulled that up, and then worked on the center in here, and yeah. So I was happy with that. And the fabric, I think I've said this before, I had bought from, this is before Morgan started dyeing fabric, from a gal that was up in Wyoming. She used to do quite a bit of dyeing and whatnot, and I don't think she does it anymore. She doesn't have her Facebook page anymore, so I'm going to assume not, but we both know what assumption spells. So, all right, so then the next one that I worked on, and this actually came out, I showed this to you guys last week. This is my Amy Stewart stitching shelf, and what I'm going to show you, I stayed in the same area. I didn't even move my hoop. Was because this one came out, I'm doing the mini version. Yeah, there you go. And as I had mentioned before, I am working in the seasons, and I don't remember, and I didn't bring, well, maybe I did. Yeah, I did. I put in 102 stitches on this one on Friday because we had a doctor's appointment. Well, Preston had a doctor's appointment. And so I picked 2 colors that had a good chunk of stitches that I could focus on while I was sitting there waiting for him. And so I think one color I started up in here and came down, and then I think the other color was over in here. And as I had mentioned before, I am working on this in the appropriate season. So I've got this all the way down to the bottom of fall. And so as long as, pardon me, I'm using this as my travel piece, I work on, now I'll work on fall, of course, until December, and then I'll go ahead and come down and start working on this one. Between you and I hope that because it's a really good doctor's appointment piece, because I can set up my tablet on the table while, appointments are going on, and I don't have to worry about a paper copy. I mean, it's like the perfect travel piece. I would give up working on this for travel pieces to not have to worry about any more doctor's appointments, and I know you guys know what I mean. Everything is fine. We got, the issue taken care of, but I don't like doctor's offices. But anyway, and then I do use it when we go, like when we go up to Fort Collins to pick Dalton up from college or whatever. Luna, are you going to come say hi, or are you going to just knock down my tablet? Probably going to drink my coffee. Pardon me. So anyway, you can see it with the hoop on there, I guess. But this is where I worked on it. And I have, as I was telling a fellow stitcher yesterday, I have several seasonal pieces that need more love, but this makes the best travel piece. So that gets the most love of my pieces. And I don't have any excuse for not having the other stud. I just haven't done it. Oh, here come the Flosstube yawns. Okay. The other one, and Morgan's mad at me about this one. I don't blame her. So my brain is such that I struggle to repeat a color when I'm working on a project. And I've shown you all of the 100-day challenge stitches. So I struggle to repeat colors. So if like this palette had 4 colors, and I worked through the palette and then I put it up. And so yesterday I showed her how much I had left, and she was like, just finish it. I said, I can't repeat the color. She was laughing at me. So hopefully I'll be able to finish it off today, and when I come to you next week, you'll have a finish. I know some people don't understand that thought, like, especially if you want to do like all the black in a project or something like that, or all the white or whatever. I really struggle to repeat colors. It's just the way my brain works. So what I'm talking about is Fallen Leaves, and this is a pattern that came with some DMC variegated thread. I literally have 1 color left. Oh, my project bag. I've shown this one to you guys before. So don't scream at the TV too loud. I always mess up which direction I have this. Okay. This is my pattern. I literally have this little tiny bit of this leaf here to finish. That's it. But I had sewn all this up and over, and so I couldn't pull this color again because I just couldn't. Don't judge me too hard. I mean, you can, but don't tell nobody. So anyway, hopefully I can get that finished today. It's on my list. I also need to make dog treats. I tried a new recipe. I think I told you about that too. The dogs were very happy. I found another recipe that takes more pumpkin, which I got pumpkin on sale the other day because, you know, that time of year. Pumpkin is very healthy for the girls. So maybe sorry, Luna jumped down. Maybe while they're baking, I can get that one finished. Okay, so and I lied to you. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't lie to you. No, I didn't. No, I didn't lie to you. So remember I told you guys I was doing on my full coverages, I put all my full coverages into a wheel. I have 24 of them. 2 of them are papers. The other 22 are on Pattern Keeper. And I was going to spend the 1st and the 15th of every month, or 1st and the 16th, depending on how long the month is, to work on a different project for my 30 minutes a day. Okay, well today was the last day that I worked on my meadow flowers. Meadow flowers is a piece from Orenco. Megan is the owner of the company, and some of the best customer service that I can honestly say I've ever had, which I'm pretty sure I said that. Last video. So what this is the postcard that I received in the mail through Post Crossing. And I was like, I have got to find that cross stitch. So I got onto Orenco, and she had it. And I bought it because it's a Van Gogh and Van Gogh. So I worked on this since the 1st. So the 1st through the 15th, basically. 30 minutes a day. I put in a total of 1,764 stitches. This is where it's at now. I don't have a before shot. Maybe I do. I don't think I do. No. Well, maybe I do. Haha, I do. So this is how far I was on October 1st when I started my 30 minutes a day. This is where I ended up with. So I watched a Flosstuber the other day, and what she said resonated with me so much that she said, some of my projects I only give them, 100 stitches a day or 100 stitches at a time, and she said, but it's still a stitch, and she said, don't scream at her like why did you only do 100 stitches? This right here is a perfect example of where 100 stitches over time adds up considerably. So I kind of feel like that my plan of doing my 30 minutes a day, not only did I not get burnt out on my project, but I also made considerable progress. So I was really, really happy with that. This one has not come out on my wheel yet. So this will come out again for at least 100 stitches before the end of the year on my 100-day challenge. So I'm excited for that. This will get some more love. So yeah, happy dances for me. Tomorrow morning I will spin to see what I will start working on for between tomorrow and the end of the month. And I will show that to you guys next video. And then the last thing I brought out, so I don't remember, I'm pretty sure I showed this one to you guys. So I had started a project for Dalton for his graduation gift from college. So I had the, words are difficult. I had made Morgan the Stony Creek graduation bear for her graduation from college. And They have the the boy version, Edmund, I think is his name, for hang on a second, guys. Never mind. It worked out. So anyway, they had the boy version of the bear, but they didn't have him in cross stitch. And I emailed Stony Creek and they were like, no, we didn't do a, and I could have adapted the girl version. I could have changed her gown and done all those things, but I chose not to. I went to Dalton and I said, okay, I want to start on a project for you for your graduation gift from college in 4 years. What would you like? And so we went through several of my projects, and my son is very much like me in the fact, go big or go home. And so before Ruth Thompson left Hade, I had Morgan purchased them, several of her patterns. And this was one of the ones that I had. And he, was going through my projects and he was like, I want this one. I'm like, okay, done and done. It's huge. Well, it's huge for me. It's 350 by 485 and it's called Morning Stretch. And it's such a beautiful dragon. And psst, cat's in scratching on the rug in the bathroom. So I needed to put in, so many stitches a day to be able to get this done in time for, I set May 1st of 28 as my goal. And I haven't worked on it for a while because I'm pretty sure it's either a Michael's or a Joann's piece, but it's very, very stiff fabric, 16 count. And it's a huge chunk of fabric. And of course I've got it rolled up. And I was, looking through my full coverages and I'll explain that in my plans. And it's like, if I don't get on this isn't going to get done, or I'm going to be doing 600 stitches a day kind of thing. And I don't want to do that. That ruins the project for me. So got on, done the math. It's 169,000, I can't remember for sure, stitches. And I need to average about 130 stitches a day to get this done. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay with it every single day, but I'm going to try for a while and see where I can get. Eventually this will come up in the 30 minutes a day, and that'll, put a chunk into it too. But I need to do better about working on this. So showed you the picture. So this is where I am so far. I think 400 and some stitches according to Pattern Keeper is all I have. All that shiny up in there, that's all Cranic. White crane, the 032 Cranic, white, and I think it's black. It might be 3371. Anyway, those are the three main colors. And of course I have to do, the sky and everything before I can work down to where, he starts at, where the dragon starts at. So here's the deal. When I did the math on this, and I don't have the exact numbers, but essentially I need to do 42,000 stitches a year to get this done for his graduation. So instead of just saying that, I'm saying if I stick with 130 stitches a day, I know that I can get it done. And then maybe, on the weekends, like when I'm sitting watching football, put more time into that so it gets a bigger chunk done. That's my hope. So those are all my projects. I went through my plans. So here's a tidbit for you. This will make you chuckle. So I went through and I added up how many stitches I have left remaining on just my full coverage stitches, or full coverage projects, minus the 2 paper copies. So just the ones that I have on Pattern Keeper, so I can do the numbers. I'm not saying this is what I'm going to do. I'm just putting the reality of the universe out there. I figured that I should be able to stitch until I'm at least 70, barring arthritis, barring my eyes, barring anything horrible happening. I should be able to at least stitch until I'm 70. That's 18 years. All the projects that I have, again, that are still in Pattern Keeper, to finish them up is 1,728,176 stitches. I rounded it up from 18 and said, okay, well, let's give myself 20 years. 72 sounds good. It was the year I was born too, so 72 is a good number. To get them done in 20 years, I need to average 86,409 stitches a year just on my full coverages. Now you're saying, well, why does that matter? It puts into perspective that whole theory of, I can't remember what it's called, but it's SABLE, that's what it's called. Stitch acquisition beyond life expectancy. Yes. And I know I'm not alone. I have a thing about numbers, so I just found that humorous to, put those numbers down and go, you need to get busy, girl. You need to get busy. So there's your number chuckle for the day. All right, so back to plans. Stick with my 30 minutes a day. Tomorrow, I will spin my next full coverage piece. Stick with my 100-day challenge on my wheel. Today is day number 53, so we're on that downhill slide. We're doing good. And then I come up with some more plans for next year for my full coverages. So as I had said, I don't plan on officially participating in Full Coverage Fanatics, but I am going to use some of their ideas because I think that they're really good as far as helping bring more productivity to fruition. So I sat down, I made a list of all of my full coverages that I want to touch greatly next year. And the biggest one is my Field of Poppies. I want to finish at least 5 pages on it. And Dalton's Dragon, I want to finish at least 5 pages on that one, which will be that 42,000 plus stitches to stay on track. And then the others that I want to put a dent in, I want to finish a page on the Pug. I want to finish 5 pages on Emerald. That's my Carolyn Manning. My Night Cafe, I have a page almost halfway done, so that would not be difficult. My April Fairy, again, almost halfway done. Imperial Shuttle and the Dogfight, those are both Star Wars pieces. I want to put a dent into those 2 pages that are, have a lot done on them, because those are gifts for Dalton. My Aquarius is very close to a page finish. My Stitching Shelf, I want to finish at least 2 pages, which is very doable because of working in the seasons. That shouldn't be hard at all. My Meadow Flowers that I just showed you, I'm very, very close to a page finish on that one, so that won't be hard at all. And then my Big Aries, my Josephine Wall, I want to finish a page. And again, it's very close to a finish too on that page. So those are more tentative goals, my scrap notes that I make when I'm sitting in here stitching, watching football, whatever, that I want to try and bring to fruition too. So I think I've said everything. And that ends up breaking down on the full coverages. It comes to that 86,000, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, 86,409 a year. A year on the full coverage. I'm sorry if I said month. I need to do 7,200 stitches on my full coverages every month, which is very, very doable. Just you know, work on them and then be able to use those stitches on my other projects. You get it. And it has nothing to do with, you know, I guess for me, number one, I don't want to leave a bunch of crap for my kids. And number two, I'm working on all these pretties. Why aren't they done to hang on my walls? You know? And then I kit up 2 new projects that I want to start later this year. See, it's an oxymoron. But anyway. All right, guys, we're at 50 minutes. I need to call Preston back. I need to get this uploaded. I need to make dog treats. And I need to finish this project so Morgan will quit screaming at me. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for sticking around. Welcome to our new subscribers, by the way. I appreciate it. I appreciate the shout outs from our friends, letting people know that we changed our name, and that means the world. So thank you so much. And I will wish you guys a great week. And unless something unforeseen happens, I will be back next Tuesday. Have a great day, and just remember to be kind. Bye, guys.